I'm Richard Smith. I've produced a small series of oils on canvas, but they're not small canvases, they're sort of medium-sized canvases, one very large canvas. And I'm having a show at EBONY on the 5th, opening on the 5th of November, called New Paintings. Not at all, really. I started painting seriously in the mid-80s, but I started working as a cartoonist in the late 60s. And I wanted to just make a transition. I wanted to start painting. And I fell into a little bit of a trap. I was painting formulaic corporate landscapes, portraits and things like that. But I would call that a learning curve, you know. But one morning I woke up and thought, no, this is not for me. I don't do this. And then I sort of reinvented myself. When I went to Europe, I went to live in Europe for a year. I completely changed. I started experimenting with mixed media on paper and collage and those sort of things. When I was at the Cité des Arts in Paris in 1990, I started experimenting with abstraction and things like that, and that's the direction I wanted to go in. So the work on this show at EBONY is actually a culmination of all the things that I've done. As far as cartooning is concerned, that always creeps into my work. It's not cartooning, it's caricature, and there is always social comment in the work that I do, or political, socio-political comment in the work that I do. But the interesting thing is that the paintings that come out, they dictate to me what they are. I don't know what they are, you know. People, and maybe it's a little bit unfair of me to say to a lot of people say, what's your painting about? You know, and I say, you know, I don't claim any responsibility for it. You know, you can decide for yourself what the paint actually holds a story for me, and I can home in on it. And I can either work it up, or it falls back into the background, something like that. But it's the act of painting that excites me. It does happen over time, in the sense that I'll work on a picture and I might put it away for a month. I mean, sometimes they're not the sort of things I just dash off. You know, I'll put it away, I'll work on something else, and then I'll come back in a month or 2 weeks or something, 2 weeks, and have another look and see different things. You know, like I said, the paint actually starts dictating to me other things. I mean, building up surfaces is one of the most exciting things. Well, in fact, I've always said my painting is about surfaces and texture. And even in the past shows that I've had, when I've had walkabout or talk about, you know, I've said to people, you know, I hope you brought your reading glasses, because if you need reading glasses, then I'd like you to wear them so you can look at the work up close, because there are things happening in there that excite me. I became kind of known for these large charcoal mixed media portraits that I did. I started doing those 10 years ago at my Constitution Hill show. I had some very large portraits, and I interfere with them by putting collage and things in front of them. But I mean, those things would take a long time, and I'd spend, you know, quite a lot of time actually working on the eyes and working on the nose. And with these particular pictures, I don't want to do that anymore. I let other people do that. My painting is not, it's full of accidents, not mistakes. I mean, the completed, finished picture can be a mistake. Can be a big mistake, and you could say, well, you know, that's not good. And that happens. But generally, things happen by accident. And I think that blurring the features of a figure or a face was also part of an accident. And I think what happened maybe a couple of years ago, I did what I thought was quite a nice portrait of someone, and there was some features. There was eyes, eyelids, you know, eyes, nose, lips, and all that stuff. And I thought, you know, I don't like it. It didn't work out. It doesn't look good. So I would take a big brush and just drag it right down like that. And then I thought, well, that's cool. You know, I'll try doing that again. And so that's a developing thing. You know, I used to paint very large paintings when I was living in Joburg, and I used a lot of paint. I left that behind. 15 years ago, I left painting behind. And about 2 or 3 years ago, I looked at these composite works, these large multi-panel composite pieces, and I thought I'd quite like to free those characters. It's full of strange characters and stuff like that. I'd quite like to free them and give them their own space. So what I did was I made, actually at Lismore, when it was still Art Space in Johannesburg, I did an installation of 16 small panels. They were only this size, small oils, which had a similar feel to those multi-panel composites. And I did 16 of them, and I hung 4 like that, 4 like that. So it was like a multi-panel composite, but it was 16 small panel oil panels. And then they just got bigger. You know, the next time around they were more like this size, and then now they're, you know. That's the transition. That's how I got back into painting. Well, I just keep working. You know, I just keep working. But like you said, you know, and like I said, you know, one moves on, one does new stuff, one changes all the time. And all the time that I'm working, you know, for me, there's too much figurative work around. You know, I really like minimal work. I like abstraction. I like Sean Scully. I like Agnes Martin. I like that stuff, you know. And I think, wow, I'd quite like to go there, you know, just to get rid of all the figures and the faces and the meaning. Why do pictures have to have a meaning, you know? Why can't we just look at it and enjoy it, you know?